What's up, YouTubers? I'm back. Like I said in the previous video, I'm going to do a review. I'm going to review the Keller Trucking as far as me being an owner opposite lease to purchase. First off, I'm going to tell you this again how they're treating me. I can't speak for everybody. Tell you what works for me and what does not work. Anything that does not work, I guess. Not too much is not working, but I've been doing their lease to purchase for now for 3 weeks. After doing their company side for 3 months. So far, they have been really good. I've made money every single week, and most importantly, I made enough money to even take out my taxes after all my deductions and still make a good paycheck. Now, it's all about how you feel and everything, but so far, as far as lease to purchase goes, they're treating me really good. They keep me moving. They give me some good loads. They are an amazing company. I wish I would have found them when I first was getting my CDI ready to. But they do an amazing job of keeping me rolling. I'm making money. Even after last week, when I went home in the middle of the week because I had a doctor's appointment, I still came out ahead even after my fuel, after my deductions, and taxes. I'm still going to come out ahead. I'm not going to make what I was making the week before that, or the week before that, or the week before that, but at least I'm going to make some good money, some kind of money. As I always say, something is better than nothing. Now, I would say this, their deductions are low. Like, that's what you want. You want your deductions and your overhead to be low. Like, my whole total deductions comes up to $813 and some change. That's not including my fuel, my tolls. That's only variable expenses that I have. But $813 is some change. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And they're only charging me for the truck. They're charging me $89,000 for the truck. Now, the truck I did lease from them is a 2019 Volvo 780 B&L. I'm in a Freightliner right now. I'm in a rental because my Volvo is in a shop getting the bumper unit fixed. I'm not paying for that. The company's paying for that. Because there was something that was wrong with the truck when I got the truck. So I'm driving this Freightliner Cascadia for a week or two or to get my truck back, and let me tell you, I cannot wait to get that Volvo back. This Freightliner, I'm not saying their equipment sucks, but I'm saying this Freightliner sucks. I do not like the way it drives. I do not like it semi-am. I do not like rear engine ham. I do not like this truck. This truck, no. It's got super singles. It's got one fuel tank, which makes it drive all weird. I don't like the way it feels. I'll take my Volvo over this truck. It's got the dual tanks, the dual tires, and I'll take that over this one. I like my Volvo. So anyway, I digress. But I'm only driving this temporarily. But they do keep me rolling. They gave me some good loads. I'm usually going down over to Pennsylvania from Ohio, or Indiana to Pennsylvania, or going to Ohio, like right now, from Ohio to Texas. Now I'm about to go pick up a load tomorrow, going from Texas to Indiana. And these are good paying loads. For example, my first week of payment, my first week as a lease to purchase, I bought the truck gross $4,000 after all the deductions, after all the fuel, the tolls, and everything. I bought home. The truck gross $4,000, but I grossed about $2,000. $2,500. After taxes, that brought it down to $1,500. Yeah, I know there's guys out there saying no, that ain't no good. That ain't no good money. That's not good owner-op money. And that ain't making nothing. Same for company side, for being a person with company. That's a step up. And all I care about is whatever makes me happy. And right now, this lease to purchase is making me happy. When I gotta pay him for 3 years, and the truck is mine for $89,000. Now, you can't tell me right now, with the economy the way it is, the supply and demand. A 2019 Volvo V&L, you ain't going to a dealership and getting that for no $89,000. You probably gonna get that for like 120, 130 or something like that. 130,000. So they gave it to me. They're selling it to me for a really good price. It's the money. Some of you guys may laugh at it. You know, $1,500. That ain't nothing. Right? It ain't nothing to you. You on around money, but hey, as long as I got money to pay my bills, keep my wife happy, sustain the life that we have, I'm happy. I don't, you know, if it's not for you, it's not for you. Keep on moving on. But these are for the lease to purchase drivers who are looking to get lease to purchase, and it's a review for them. And it's a review on Thomas Keller Trucking Logistics lease to purchase. So if you don't like what I say, I'll give you 100%. If you don't like what I say, but I will say this. Versus the time I went lease to purchase with KLLM, this is a whole lot better. I'm making money, so I would say I would suggest I'm getting paid 72% of the revenue. I'm pushing out at least 3 loads a week before I go home on the weekends. I usually home on the weekends. It's Sunday. I'm usually leaving out today, but I left home yesterday because they got me this load that was paying really good. So I will take it because they're paying really good. It was Monday, and I'll probably be home this weekend. Better be anyway. But the lease to purchase is working out. One thing that I learned when it comes to lease to purchase, you cannot fuel the truck like you're a company. You cannot be comfortable. You put enough fuel into the truck to get the load done. That's what I learned. Don't feel like you're a company, because you will go broke. Your whole paycheck will go into the tank. And that's one thing I learned from my previous experience at KLM, is the fueling. I wasn't fueling right. So I took some time off this purchase and went back company side, and I reevaluated what I did wrong and what I need to do to change to make this a very successful adventure. And let's see, last week the truck grossed about $4,000. I bought home about 2,700 after taxes. Well, after deductions, $813, $72 a week, and after fuel and after the tolls, my take home, I grossed $2,700 and some dollars, and once I took taxes out of that dropped it down to $2,050. That's a really good week for me. It might not be, what you guys are owner-ops making like $4, $5, $6 a week, but it was working for me, and that's all I needed to work for me until I get to the next step and where I want to go and where I want to take this. But for right now, this is what works for me. If it's not working for you, you don't have to come to Thomas Keller and do the lease to purchase for that. If not, the money ain't right for you, then it ain't right for you. But the deductions are low. That's really what you need when it comes to a lease to purchase. You do not want to be signing a lease to purchase for $1,100, $1,200 a week, and that is just your truck payment. Okay, don't do it. Because I'm telling you, you ain't gonna make. It's gonna be hard for you to make the deductions, and especially if you gotta pay for that fuel, it's gonna be hard to make come out ahead. And don't do the mileage pay. You want the percentage of the load. Not do mileage pay when it comes to the purchase, because you can't make money that way. You're not gonna make money that way. I'm sorry, I did it. I did it with KLM. I did the whole mileage. It doesn't work in your favor. I turned that truck in because it wasn't working. So, and plus I was over the road, which made most likely they were giving me miles that I think they only get paid 99 cents a mile. That wasn't working. I'll tell you right now, 99 cents a mile, that only covers the fuel. If that. But gas, with fuel prices up near $4 a gallon, 99 cents a mile, and then you got to cover fuel, but you're getting way less than what the fuel is charging, not even a quarter of what been charged. You're putting all that in the tank. So, guys, I tell you, lease to purchase, come together, they give you percentage, 72%, and then you get a safety bonus. Every load you deliver, even as a owner high. And it's this truck will be mine. Not this truck. The Volvo that's in the shop that I'm going to get back. It's mine. And they'll help you get your LLC. That's very important that you get your LLC. Help you get your LLC. The only thing I did not like was that the fact that I was told that I could have 2 dogs on the truck. Now they're saying I can have 1. Which I'm going to ask about again, but there ain't much I can do there. But the deductions is where it needs to be. The percentage of the money is where it needs to be, where it is profitable for me. It makes sense. So I'm making money. It's only been 3 weeks. Even, like I said in another video, even when I took off last week, 2 days I took off. Instead of going on Friday, I went home Wednesday. I had doctor's appointment on Thursday. I got some really good decent loads. I had 2 loads. I only had 2 loads that week. 2 loads. Go out, pick some, deliver, pick up some, deliver, and then I went home. 2 loads. And I still am going to make a few $100s come out ahead after deductions, fuels. I don't think there is no tolls coming out that week. It might be, but I don't think there is. If it is, it's not much. The fuel was dead on, so the fuel, we're good on fuel. And I'm going to come out like $500, if $400 to $500 if not expected. After all the deductions and everything, and tax and so I'm fine with that. That's something I couldn't say when I worked at KLM. I would have went home on the middle of the week. There's no way I won't make deductions. I was paying $1,100, about $1,100 just for the truck unit. And that was horrendous, guys. You cannot do that on $1,100 a week. You want your deductions to be low. That's what drove me to Thomas Keller's. The deductions is low. The next thing I had to figure out was the fuel. How do you feel when the fuel, all the fuel is on you? The surcharge is strange. I can't figure out the surcharge, but it is a pretty good surcharge. How they do it, I don't know. But I still want to come out ahead after surcharge, even if I go over surcharge. I still want to come out ahead. Not every load gets a surcharge. That's a con, but if you do your fuel right, you'll make some money off of each load if you do your fuel right. You calculate your fuel, and that's the biggest thing. Figure out how to calculate fuel, how much fuel do I need to get it from point A to point B. So I'm gonna show you what I've done that has worked for me. This has worked for me so far, and it took me I learned this from my mistakes at KLM. And I'm going to show you something I do after each load gets delivered. When I was company side for 3 months, I've got 2 folders. I I got two folders. And let me move these starbursts out of the way. And I got this clipboard. And in these clipboards, in these two folders, it's all the paperwork I have collected that I did not throw away. I know I was supposed to throw them away, but there's a reason for this madness. There's a reason for the madness I'm about to show you. I kept all the paperwork that every load I delivered, no matter if it was going 100 miles, 200 miles, it could have been going 20 miles. I wrote on the back of each paperwork. See that? I wrote, I don't know if you can see it, but I wrote on the back of each paperwork. The weight is on the bill, so I can just, when I go pick up a load, if I don't know the weight, I'll ask them what the weight is the load's going to be, and I'll go through all this paperwork and I'll find out about how many loads did I pull. So that was, like for this month, 3,600 pounds. I took this load from Pennsylvania to Smithfield, Pennsylvania to Lynchville, Michigan. And that went 386 miles. And on the back of this paper, I wrote how many gallons did I use from the time I picked the load up to the time I delivered. I used 45 gallons. And then I wrote on the back, what was my truck's miles per gallon? What was my truck miles per gallon from that whole run? I go by the lowest that the display said. So the lowest for this run was 9.1. It got my 9.1 miles per gallon. And then I write at the bottom here, I don't know if you can see it, but I write the miles. How many miles was it? And this trip was 386 miles. And so 3,000, like, I'm sorry, I said 5,600, 2,200. So I got the miles per gallon, I got the weight, I got how many gallons I used on that trip. So next time I go pick up a load, if I pick up another load that's 5,600 pounds, and I can go through all my paperwork and I can get all my loads that were around 5,600 pounds. And I can average that miles per gallon that it got over 3 loads, maybe 3 or 4 loads. Sometimes it could be 7 loads. The heavier loads can be, I have a lot of information on, but the lighter loads I don't have that much. At least the purchasers, they try to give you the heavier loads because it saves them on fuel. But like I was saying, 9.1 miles per gallon. So if I go back to this place and I pick up this 5,600 pound load again, I can look at that and say, all I got to do is put in 45 gallons, and then it's going back to the same place, and I'm done. I got 45 gallons in. And then they have a thing on the tablet where it shows me all the cheapest fuel stops along the way. So I can look on that and see where am I stopping, how much am I paying per gallon, and then I can calculate how much I'm paying per gallon up against the 45 gallons. That tells me how much money I'm going to spend on fuel. But like I said, I got folders of paperwork, and I would suggest that to anybody. That is my secret of breaking. I'll tell you, once I did the averages of that load, I'm gonna tell you, it's been spot on, no matter where I'm going. If it's around the same amount of miles, it could be as long as it's around the same amount of weight, it's gonna that's how many gallons you're gonna use. And I'm telling you, the math has been dead on. I've been some loads, like I put in like 84 gallons from the point I picked it up to the point I delivered. I used 82 gallons. So I had 2 gallons to the good. Now last week going home, I was leaving Georgia and I overbought by 20 gallons. So one load I figured it was going to take 110 gallons to get that load done. And when I got the load delivered, out of that 110 gallons, I used only 89 gallons. So that might be a little bit off my math, but I'm not a math whiz. Don't do all that. I said 20, but I only used 89 out of 110 just to get the load delivered. So I overbought on fuel. which didn't hurt me too bad because that was the only day that week I overbought on fuel. And I was kicking myself in the butt, but I said, you know what, going forward, the next time I go get that load going back up to Ohio, I know it don't take no 110, so next time I won't be overbuying. I just buy enough. The trick is to buy enough. So guys, I'm telling you, that's what works for me. I would suggest that for you. Don't just throw away the paperwork. And in order to really get an accurate number, I know a lot of people don't like to reset their miles per gallon on their display, but I'm telling you, reset that, because that's where you're gonna get the most accurate information off for that load. You can't go keep at the same average and get an accurate information on every load, because you're going to different areas. You may be going to Ohio to Pennsylvania, you got hills, or you may be going, somewhere down south to Georgia where you got hills, or you may go to Texas where it gets flatter, or you're going down to Florida. It's all flat down in Florida. So just keep resetting that. I reset mine average every load I pick up. All right, and that's just to keep track of what the miles per gallon was through that run, what the gallons I used, of the gallons I put in, and just reset it to get more accurate numbers. The more accurate it is, the better it is. The more on top of it you is, so you don't have to take a guessing game on how much fuel do I put in of this run. It's the numbers right. So that's what's worked for me. So try that. I promise you it will work for you. So if you're having trouble and you're struggling how to fuel these big trucks that we drive, and you're a new owner op, or you're new lease to purchase, and you're wondering how do you do this, this is how I did it. It worked for me. Try it. It save you a lot of headache. Remember, get that percentage pay, not the mileage pay, because you can't make money on mileage. Sorry, that game is very, very, very bad. Don't do it. I know KLM doesn't do any more lease to purchase. When I left there, they kind of put an end to that. Don't know why. They did put an end to it. But if you think about doing lease to purchase, don't be scared of it. Don't listen to nobody. Don't listen to all these people who are talking bad about lease to purchase. You can make money out of lease to purchase. You can do it. It can be done. You just got to find the right company, and that's the hard part. So if you want to find the right company, come to Keller Trucking. Do their lease to purchase. I promise you. Well, I can only speak for myself. I retract my statement. I can't promise you that it'll be successful for you, but if you do it right, it'll work for you, and you'll work for it. So, like I said, I always say, keep the sunny side up, rub the side down. Like I said, don't listen to all the people who are naysaying about lease to purchase. It's not as bad as they make it out to be. In this situation, I got a truck, $89,000, and let me go. I had to go back and mention this. I got it for $89,000, and I was when I looked into these purchases, they told me I was going to be signing for a truck that had 450,000 miles on it. That's what their averages to purchase trucks had on it. So, but the truck I leased to purchase, when I got the truck as a company side, it was only 287,000 miles on it. So it's a little young buck. It's been broken in. All those, brand new trucks going to the shop for sensor issues. All that stuff has been. I'm way past that stuff. The only con is when the stuff do go wrong with it, it's actually something wrong with it, not just a sensor. It's actually something wrong with it. I gotta wrap this video up because I gotta record my Buccaneers game. I gotta record that game so I can watch it later. But guys, I'm telling you, the truck when I got it, it was 200-something thousand miles on it, 280,000 miles on it. When I got to lease the purchase side of it, it only had like 327,000 something miles on it, which that is really good to start at least purchasing a truck that young. Is at the 500,000 miles, that's when all the big carriers are trying to get rid of those trucks, because that truck is heading for a rebuild, and they don't want to put $20-something thousand into that truck just to have a rebuild done. They will if they have to. I know they're probably looking at it right now and saying, man, our rebuild sounds a whole lot cheaper than buying a brand spanking new truck. And right now, the way it is right now, they probably, keeping those trucks long enough to do a rebuild. But most of the big carriers, they try to get rid of those trucks or put them on at least the purchase side at 500,000 miles. And the main reason is that is because it's now over the hill. It's halfway through its life of the truck, and it's heading for a rebuild. So thanks to my truck, the Volvo I got, I won't have to worry about rebuild until like probably towards the end of the lease. But I probably have like, I think by the time I get to the lease part, I think it'll be like just over 500,000 miles on it, based on the miles I get this week or every week. So it's heading for a rebuild, but I could probably won't have to worry about that. It's 800,000. So, guys, look for good lease to purchase. If you like what the content, like the information I gave you, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Hit the like button, hit the dislike button, disagree with something I said. Comment. Leave your comments, concerns, questions. Leave it all down at the bottom, and I will respond to them when I can. Keep the sunny side up, the rubber side down. If you'd like to know more on the more specific or have any questions about it, the lease to purchase side, or if you're thinking about going on around for lease to purchase and you just want some insight, leave your questions down below, and I will respond to them as soon as I can. But I gotta get off here, record my Buccaneers game, go Brady, number 12, go run it back hopefully. I don't know. Saints, this is a big game today. Saints. I know how that goes. Saints going down today, hopefully they're going down. But be safe out there. Take care of yourself. Wash your hands. Do all that great stuff they're telling you to do during the COVID. But going out. I will talk to you later.